How do kids fall into drugs, and what can we as parents do? I'm very fortunate. My kids, I wouldn't say they are. I really don't know how to say this, but on one of our channels, there's a story. It's Afrikaans story about drugs, and I just realized that how many kids fall into that trap, especially in our in this era we are living now. Uh, Social media, cell phones. Parents had to work. Both parents need to work. No interaction with your kids. No. You don't know really what's going on in your kid's life. It happened to me as a parent where I didn't know what was going on in my kid's life, and he cut himself. Luckily, I thank God every day that he didn't turn to drugs. But there are a lot of kids that turn to drugs and they are cutting themselves. And no child dreams to become an addict. There are a lot of kids that comes from good homes, wealthy homes, that falls into that trap to become a drug addict. And it's a simple choice that child makes because of social pressure, mental health struggles, easy access, and lack of connection. I always, because I was a single parent for so long, I told my kids they have to come to me with everything that is bothering them, and I would go out of my way to help them wherever I can. And I had to work long hours and I had to work every weekend, but my work was lenient so that my kids could come with me to work. And it was great because we would get our lunch and then just sit outside on the stoop and just have a nice chat. Even at night after work, we would sit in the sitting room, forget about the TV. I couldn't afford any TVs at that stage, so we didn't have a TV. So we discussed and we spoke openly about drug abuse, about sex, just in general about life. My children were at that stage, they were teenagers, they were exposed to a lot of these stuff in school and after school, wherever they went. I know my daughter was bullied on BBM. I think I can't even remember what the BBM chat was called, but and I had to explain to her that the more she allows it, the more they're going to bully her. And I explained to her that she has to stand up for herself, no matter what, even if she loses all her friends. But if she's not going to stand up for herself, she's not going to make it. She's going to be, at the end of the day, using drugs, going to commit suicide because she is a very sensitive person. And it took me a while to just talk to her and explain to her that, hey, listen, you have to stand up for yourself. I will protect you as far as I can, but at the end of the day, you have to protect yourself. And it's the same with drugs. Kids going to a party, oh, here's a nice what do you call it? Here's a nice tablet for you. It will give you energy. So you start with ecstasy. Some kids start with um, weed. Then it goes to the next one. Then it goes to the next one. So in the story, this boy is working for an uncle, and everyone knows what gummies is. We are living in an era where everyone knows what is gummies. So gummies is, for those of you who don't know what gummies is like jelly babies, but it is lined with drugs. So it takes you on a high. Some people can take it, other people cannot take it. So you start eating it, you get that high, and then suddenly it's that low. And so this boy started by just selling the gummies to his friends. Then he started trying it, as every kid would, because you are curious, you want to try everything. And he tried the gummy, and it took him on a very high where he enjoyed the high, and then suddenly that drop came, and he became very aggressive. And it for him, it is because he is dealing, he gets a lot of money. So he pays his supplier, and the supplier pays him his commission. Let's call it his commission for the gummies he has sold. But now he's using it as well. And at the end of the day, it's just like gambling. You start and you start, and then suddenly you cannot stop. You have to go on and go on because you are waiting for that next big win. It's the same with the drugs. You need to take it. So now you take your own supply and you start using it. The brain so his brain begins to crave it, because he gets a high out of it and the brain enjoys it. And he keeps on taking it because he wants to stay at that high. Listen, I just want to let you know, I'm not talking about this stuff because I know everything. I'm just sharing it as a parent, as a influencer, to help people. Just like my mindset, just like my abuse. When the more I watch the story, the more I want to talk about the fact that it's so easy for kids to get addicted on drugs. And it seems like, oh, my child is eating gummies. I think we as parents need to go and invest in drug education, invest in mental education, invest in how we can help our kids with social media bullying. Because this stuff is happening constantly, each and every day. And it saddens me because kids are messing up their lives because life is too tough for them, because we as parents have no interaction with our kids to just sit and then just listen for the next 2 to 3 hours. Let's put away our phones and let's talk about general. Tell me what is bothering you so that I can try and help you. And that is what I did with my kids, and I still even do it today with my kids. My kids are grown up. My son is turning 20 this year, and still I can see when he's down, and I am that irritating, nagging mother telling you what to do, what to do, what to do. And it just scares me that there are people today that have children that is using drugs, or they are just mentally not in a very good space, because drug abuse comes from your mental health. And if you don't look after yourself, you're gonna mess up your whole life. And we as parents need to look after our kids. They are our future. I know work is scarce. I know not every one of us can um, send our kids to university to go and study there or follow their dreams. But it mustn't define our kids. We need to talk to our kids and explain to them and say, hey, I cannot help you follow your dreams, but you can go and work, set money aside so that you can pay for your own education, to do whatever you want to do, or to start your own business, or just to become the person you want to be. Communication is so important, because I think in today's world, um, the pressure of being the top student, of being the best in what you do, and there's no space for those who are being left behind. So those who are being left behind start using drugs because it makes them feel like, okay, I'll show you, I'll be part of this elite team. And those on the top also use drugs to get rid of that pressure that everyone is being putting on them. And I am just talking to you guys as a mom, uh, who is watching a TV story, and it's actually reality, and we need to talk about it. We need to address the problems the kids are facing, because we cannot leave the kids' problems in their own hands so that they can just solve it like an adult. There are kids that are just in primary school that start using drugs because, oh, the sweets are nice, it gives me a nice. And then what happens at the end of the day? Like this boy, he starts yelling, he's becoming aggressive. He's shouting at his mom. He tells her that she's a witch. He tells her that he hates her. And then the next moment, as soon as the drugs is worked out, he comes back and he says, I'm sorry, I don't mean it. It's exactly like when I was abused by my abuser. The one moment he's hitting the living nonsense out of me, and then the next day he's bringing me flowers and sweets and say, I'm sorry. And then not even an hour later, he's beating the crap out of me. So that is why I don't believe in I'm sorry. If you are sorry, you have to prove that you are sorry. And that proof mustn't be just for one day. You must keep on proving yourself that you are really truly sorry for what you did. So substances hijack the brain's reward system. They replace natural happiness with artificial highs. And over time, the child starts to fade behind the addiction. So you eat that one gummy, you are having this high, And I used weed once or twice, and it makes me so aggressive that, and I didn't like the high that it took me on, so I never used it again. But I tried it. And I always tell my kids, you can try everything, but keep the good, keep the best, and leave the bad. Because you start using weed, then you want to try something stronger, because the weed doesn't do anything anymore. Where you had a high for maybe half a day or the full day when you started, now it is like 5 minutes, the high is gone. So now you want to try something stronger. And then when that is gone, you want to try something stronger, because your body and your brain is consuming that drugs as a reward. I'm on a high now, I'm having a ball. And then suddenly you just drop and you are aggressive. You are messing up your whole life. And we as parents are supposed to know our kids. We are supposed to know that when they are not who they are, the child that we know, then something must be wrong. We have to go and have a look at it. We as parents can make a huge difference in our child's life. Have conversations about your emotions, the choices. If you are being pressured to do something, have the freedom to go to your parents and tell your parents, hey mom, hey dad, this guy came to me and said that if I don't take this tablet, then he's going to bully me for the rest of my life. And then we as parents can take it from there and go to the headmaster saying this is what's happening. Tell our kids, yes, take the tablet and go and take it to the headmaster or to that teacher that you trust. Or even if you don't trust anybody at school and know nobody's going to help you, bring it to me and I will take it further. Go to the police. Yes, you don't want to destroy that kid's life, but you can start a reaction knowing that you can save maybe 5 to 10 to 20 lives, even if it costs destroying one life. Not that we as a parent need to do that or want to do that, but we have to save our kids. We have to try and protect our kids. We need to create a safe space where kids feel seen, heard, and not judged. I know there's a lot of kids that go home and say, Mom, something happened at school. Just sort it out. You are a big girl or a big boy. I don't have time. And that's the wrongest thing that we as parents can do. I, as a parent, know the pressure of our jobs, of looking after our kids and maintaining the house. I know it's a lot of pressure, but our kids is our responsibility. Our kids is our pride and joy, and we need to look after them. We need to create that safe space where your kid comes to you and say, Mom, Dad, I don't know what to do. I received this tablet from one of my friends saying that we can go on it will take me to another place and it would make me feel just better. But I'm afraid to take it. And then you, as a parent, your child will then know that it is safe to come to you as a parent. Listen, I always told my kids when they were bigger and they were going out on a jaw to a club or something, I always told them, you make sure you drink something out of a bottle and you keep your bottle always with you. There's a lot of, you know what, I like watching CSI and watching FBI stories. It's just something that fascinates me. And the way that things are going, it's so scary. We cannot even send our kids to a school dance because the security have to be there because drugs are being sold at the school. That's scary. And that's the truth because it happened. My husband had to go to a school dance because they found out that there are being drugs sold. The thing is, every kid is supposed to be searched before they go in because the kids take gummies and then when they ask what is this, we as parents and we as security and we as the police needs to be educated on what those drug dealers do to get the drugs in the schools. And it's not difficult to line a gummy bear, a big nice fat gummy bear with drugs. When we were growing up, there were things like drugs, yes, for sure, but it wasn't that bad as it is now, as it is like the pressure the kids are under, the fact that it is freely, you can get it freely, no matter on the corner, at a shop, or in school, and that's so scary. Thinking that there are kids ruining other kids' lives because they feel that if they give them the drugs, I really don't know why they do that. I'm just talking in general, where they feel they need to. I'm hurt, so I must hurt you as well because it's fair. But his hurt is not going away because he doesn't use drugs, so he's just a dealer. So his hurt is just staying there while that person he is selling the drugs to is getting on a high, getting on a low, getting on a high, getting on a low, and eventually it's a life being ruined. So you have to have a conscience and you have to feel very guilty about what you do, knowing that you might have caused that child's death or his addiction. We must watch for the warning signs, sudden changes in behavior, friends, sleep, or grades. We must stay involved, know their friends, social media, and routines. And we must lead with love, not fear. Be the safe place they can always return to. These are things that I've just now covered. It's so important that we protect our kids. In today's day, it is scary to think of all the dangers outside, things that we as parents were privileged not to have. It was there, but it wasn't that big issue. telephone, social media. Parents, we must check our kids' phones constantly, block certain websites. It all starts with just one click, and then it goes to porn. It just one click or one awful word that the one person say to another person, and then it's just a roller coaster. Oh, I like this. I like feeling. I like the feeling. It's just like drugs. Being a social media bully is like drugs. You like the feeling of hurting other people, um, and send it over. Have you guys noticed that girls fighting, boys fighting, nobody is helping them, nobody is stopping them? Everybody is on their phone so that they can go and post it on social media. What about that one person just standing up and say, hey, stop it? Break them up, take them to the headmaster. But no, instead, everybody is taking videos. If you watch something happening outside, what do people do? They take out their freaking phones and they take a video so that they can post it on social media. You know what? That's not how it's supposed to be. We must help, we must assist, not post on social media. It irritates me, it makes me angry, because those people fighting, why is nobody standing up? You know your friend is using drugs, why don't you stand up? Your friend will hate you for that moment, yes, but you can save a life. The same as parents. Our kids don't need us to save them. Our kids need us to see them and to hear them. How many of us, and I was guilty at a stage, how many of us did not see or hear do not see or hear our kids? I think it's most of us. Let's look out and see our kids. See their behavior. You know your kid, you're a parent, we as parents are supposed to know our kids. We are supposed to know that this behavior is not fine. There's something wrong. Be that nagging, irritating freaking parent. Take the phone. Go through the phone and say, but what the hell is going on? Why didn't you come and talk to me? We could have resolved this at a very earlier stage than now. And help your kid, see your kid, hear your kid, listen to what they are saying. We must remind our kids who they really are and where they are coming from. That is the most important. Yes, it is my beautiful dog. We must be aware, we must connect, we must love, and this is where the healing begins. By being aware of our kids' behavior and knowing if something is bothering your child. We must have that connection with our kids, that they know, Mom, Dad, I am in big trouble. I did something wrong. Your kid must even come to you and say, Mom, Dad, I messed up. I need your help and I need to address this because I did wrong. If we can teach that to our kids and we see our kids' behavior and we can connect with them, and love them the way we as parents are supposed to love our kids, then that is where the healing begins. There is so many helplines that we can use for drug abuse. In each and every country around the world, there is a drug helpline. But at the end of the day, I think it's important that we start building our connections with our kids, so that they can be aware, talk to drugs, go through their life orientation books and see they are learning about sex and they are learning about drugs and they are learning about everything. But the school doesn't warn them about the dangers. We as parents need to talk to our kids. Hey, if you go to a bar, make sure if you forgot where you have put your glass, go get a new glass. Make sure you watch them and everything. Because you know what? I know it's not nice being drugged. I was pranked with the date rape drug. And I promise you, it's a feeling I never ever want to have in my whole life ever again. And it's my boss, the boss where I was working. It was his son that put the drug into my drink. I trusted these people, and that is what they did. I never ever went there again. I resigned and I just said no. This is not a very good environment for me to be in. And it's so sad that people do that to other people. I don't know, until today I don't know why they did it, but I know that maybe they wanted attention or something. I am not the perfect mom, but I am a mom that is aware of what is going on around me. I know what is important, and I want to share my journey and my just my stories, or stories that is important to me. I would like to, that is why I have created this YouTube channel, to share my abuse journey, what I went through, to share my mental wellness journey with the struggles I'm dealing each and every day with. And then if there's something coming up, then I would like to share it with you guys, and I would like to talk about it and just be aware, because I don't think there's enough awareness for abuse, mental wellness, and drug abuse. You know, it starts with one tablet, then it becomes 2, then it becomes 3, and then you go to heroin, and then what? Your life is messed up. And if you don't have that support system, you will just keep going and going and going and going. Yes, there's a lot of people that use drugs, they go to rehabilitation, come out, a little bit of pressure, and they use again. But I think we need to go deeper in and see how we can help those kids or those people that has used drugs, went to rehabilitation and got out, and why they started again, so that we can work on the why and not the but you started again, let's go back to rehabilitation. Yes, go back to rehabilitation, get yourself clean, but then work on the why. If you cannot handle the pressure of life, you need to work on your mindset. If you cannot handle being a famous person, then work on your mindset to make sure that Yeah, you are famous, but actually you are just a normal person. Live a normal life. That's why I'm saying this channel is not expert advice. It's just a conversation of what I feel is important in life, to be more aware of what life is all about, because in today's day it's not that easy as to when we grew up. The kids are under a lot of pressure. There's no job opportunities for kids outside, um, so there is a lot of pressure. And what do kids do? They either go to drugs because they don't have that relationship with their parents. I'm not saying all kids, I'm just talking in general. And I think it's important that we be aware. So let's give our kids our love. Let's make sure that we are aware of our kids' behavior, so that we can be that irritating freaking parents. What's wrong? Will you please tell me what's wrong? Give me your phone. If you don't give me your phone, you are grounded. Give me your phone. I want to see what is going on. And that is what I did with my daughter. She didn't want to give me a phone. I grounded her. I took away her acting, everything. It was 2 seconds. She gave her phone. And then I realized what was going on. And I said, the sooner you came to me, the sooner we could have resolved it. I know not all of us are the same, but I really do hope that through this message, you might just found something to say, hey, I'm going to try this, or I know of someone who is struggling. You all be blessed, and I see you guys all tomorrow.